What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another Marvel Monday. And today we'll be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. Kind of excited going into this film.
Yep.
Maybe left a little bit, maybe some to be desired after the film.
I can see
Shockingly.
that. Yeah. Shockingly. Like Electro.
Ah. Give us the stats, man.
IMDb's gotten it rated at an 8.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes sitting at 93% critics, 97% audience. Budget of $200 million. Box office, that's got to be billion. $1.921 billion. Obviously Marvel. Director was John Watts, who also directed Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home. And the release date was December 17th, 2021.
And we'll jump into the plot. So, something not as common in the MCU for these trilogies of heroes is we're actually taking place directly after the last Spider-Man film, which is when it is revealed that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. We kind of deal with the aftermath of this for Peter. One, obviously, still a high school student. I feel like we should always mention that because some decisions might be a little bit immature, which we'll probably discuss further in the film.
Yep.
But has to deal with everyone finding out. That involves a lot of criticism from a lot of people, like J. Jonah Jameson leading that charge, I would say. You also have different precautions taken at school. You have people pretending to be friends and trying to get famous or get things based off of knowing Spider-Man. And we also have the people closest to Peter being affected as well, being all three of him and his friends are applying to universities. And it seems that they're not getting accepted, mostly due to the fact of all the drama around Spider-Man.
Yes.
Which leads Peter to a potential conclusion. Well, a fun little thing happens with Matt Murdock too, but yeah, we'll get there. Where he thinks, I can go to Doctor Strange and he can just reverse it via time travel or something. Because he totally forgot that the time stone's destroyed for some reason.
Yeah, whoops.
But Peter visits Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange is like, yeah, we can do, we can't do time travel, but I have a spell that can make people forget. He's like, that'd be perfect. And they're like, okay, it was nice knowing you. And then Peter ends up botching the spell by adding way too many stipulations to it prior to
the spell being complete.
Yeah, basically while Doctor Strange is casting the spell.
Yeah.
Which then creates, I forget what Doctor Strange calls it, but it's like a broken spell or something.
Yeah.
And he contains it, and a little bit of trouble sneaks through the cracks there of the spell, and that's the multiverse villains that are introduced. And as Peter's talking to the admissions director, I believe, for MIT.
Yep.
We get attacked by Dr. Octopus. And then we see Green Goblin. And we also basically end up seeing, I think it's Sandman, Doc Ock,
Green Goblin,
the Lizard.
Yep, and Electro.
And basically, Doctor Strange is like, you have to go wrap all these up. We need to get rid of them. They figure out that if they get rid of them, they're all going to die because they've all died in their respective universes. And Peter, being the good guy that he is like, no, we can fix him. So he has a little quick fight with Doctor Strange, wraps him up in the mirror dimension. And then it leads to fixing Doc Ock.
Yep.
And then Green Goblin kind of ruining everything. Tragedy strikes with Aunt May passing away during this initial section, while Peter is self-reflecting in his own depression,
decisions,
loss. We get introduced to the previous two Spider-Men before Tom Holland, which is fun, nostalgic, if you will.
Yep.
And we have a really cool climax of all three Spider-Men working together to cure all of the villains and defeat them, send them back, but not dead, I guess. That's a little bit left for interpretation, but we're assuming for some reason they're not going to be dead in their universe now, which definitely screws over a lot of things, I'm sure, for their universe.
Definitely.
Or just, wouldn't that just open a new timeline or a new universe? regardless, it's kind of like really adjacent to time
It
travel.
really is. It's very close to time travel. We took these people out of time, but we're going to put them exactly back, but they're going to be slightly different.
Very different and very not dead.
Yeah.
And this climax happens on the Statue of Liberty, which is a very cool fight. And then at the end, we kind of have Peter come to the realization that it's better if everyone just doesn't know that he's Spider-Man, including loved ones, friends. And that's kind of the ultimate sacrifice he ends up making at the end. And that will lead us into the new age of Spider-Man where no one knows Peter is Spider-Man, which is conveniently timed because as we're recording this, July is the release date.
Yeah, about 2 months from today, I think, or very close to it.
July is the release date for the new Spider-Man where we'll actually see
a brand new day.
How Peter's been doing. Yeah, he's finally not related to home.
Exactly. He's got a brand new day. Brand new day, brand new director.
But yeah, that's basically it. It was, I don't want to say, it didn't feel long. Pacing was a bit weird at times, but what were some of your likes?
Nostalgia-wise, great to see Toby and Andrew back.
Who's your favorite out of the three?
I think I have to go with Andrew, personally. I think it's tough because, like, we've discussed this as a previous question in a podcast episode, but, like, Toby plays a good Peter Parker, Andrew does a good, like, Spider-Man, and Tom Holland does a good mix of both.
It's just that he's so much...
But he's so much younger and, like...
Even though we see the other two as high schoolers. That's what makes it confusing.
Well, no, Tobey Maguire was in college by the end of the first one.
But he's still in high school to start.
Yeah. I think Andrew just has a good... Like, he has the persona of a quippy...
Yeah.
Can be a dick, but is control of the situation, mostly.
Yeah.
You know? But I think all three Spider-Mans had great chemistry with one another on screen. This will probably be the closest we're ever going to get to a Sinister Six inspired movie.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
because we had
most likely
Sinister Five.
We had 5 villains, but they're not really all villains at the same time because
4 of them are.
Because you think about it, like Sandman kind of isn't a villain to start, and then by the time he decides that he is going to be fighting, all of a sudden it's the Doc Ock's now on their side.
Yeah, it was a Sinister 4.
They're rotating.
Yeah. And honestly, I think overall the effects looked pretty good. I think when you compare it to other Marvel movies around this time, you're like, oh.
It was one, so far, of the 4, because we would have seen Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals of Phase 4.
Yep.
It was definitely on the better side for sure, yeah. I still dislike the way like the nanobot suit just goes away.
Yeah.
It just looks wrong. But yeah, I generally for the rest of the effects they were pretty good.
Yeah. What do you likes?
Well, first of all, William Dafoe.
Yeah.
William Dafoe is
forever my Green Goblin.
He's great. And I think we looked, he was like what, 67?
Yeah, he's an older guy for sure.
For this film. He was great. Obviously Spider-Man.
Yep.
Nostalgia or not, it was great. Great to see them all together. The final fight was very well coordinated. I'm sure a lot of work went into that, making sure it looked awesome. And honestly, I like the choice of giving a lot more importance to Aunt May. We've never met Uncle Ben in this universe. We literally don't even I don't even know if he's been mentioned.
I think his uncle has been mentioned, but I don't think the full on Uncle Ben has been fully mentioned.
And obviously Aunt May has been very important. I feel like in some of the past ones, she's not as important as people realize to Peter.
Yeah.
In the previous films, it's just like, oh yeah, that's my Aunt May. Like she helped raise me. And obviously people understand that, but Aunt May is very involved in the MCU for Peter.
Yes.
And knows about him being Spider-Man.
Especially with being talking to Tony multiple times and then having a brief relationship with Happy. She's very present.
Yes. So spinning her character to give kind of that iconic speech and be that big loss for Peter is impactful and in a different way than we're used to, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's it for likes. I mean, it was a Spider-Man film, so it was still fun and enjoyable.
Yeah.
Dislikes.
Go ahead.
So for starters, I have just the whole reason we even have a film is both Peter and Doctor Strange, who are both not stupid people. We have an ex-surgeon who should be very well known in the form of informed consent.
Oh, yep.
Giving like, hey, this is the dangers of doing this. This is the good things that can come out of doing this. You'd think that he would also do that for a spell before just doing it.
Yeah.
I just found that kind of very out of character for someone that's so meticulous. And then obviously on the other side of the coin, Peter just feels just very, I don't know, scatterbrained to just constantly be interrupting him while he's doing the spell.
Yeah.
So I felt like both of those, in order for this whole film to occur, was already kind of out of character for both of them. I also have down that the intro part of the film, where his identity is revealed. I feel like we could have actually spent a lot more time on that.
Yeah.
Kind of like the aftermath of what kind of issues Peter was really dealing with. It's kind of just all glazed over. Okay, yeah, there's some reporters at school. Some of the teachers believe he killed Mysterio. Some don't. Some are playing it up that he's like, because he's a hero. And then we also have the very brief cameo with Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. And we just kind of jump
right back in.
Yeah. So I don't know if that for you, you're also kind of like, hey, it kind of would have been nice to see maybe how it was affecting Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure during all this time, Peter is still being Spider-Man.
I think we get that a little bit more in that weird extended cut that we did see a couple of years ago, but nothing worth like memorable in the sense of, but I do agree, like we only saw how Peter was affected by it. Like we don't know if he just stopped being Spider-Man during that time or if he kept trying to like save the day.
Now this one, it's kind of, but the overall story is a bit, I think, on the weaker side. And I think that now this would be like my fifth time seeing the film and having a lot more of like that initial hype and nostalgia pushed away.
Yeah.
I think that it is very heavily reliant on the nostalgia bait of the film to help carry it a little further up.
I would agree with that.
Because when we first saw it, I feel like all that hype, I'm giving it like that 97 score. Yeah, that audience score. But after you have time to sit on it and kind of realize like how the story and the pacing was, I feel like I'm dropping my score a lot, and the nostalgia helps boost it in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Which is, it's not a big dislike, but that, plays a factor when looking at the film. The other thing is, I would have enjoyed Aunt May's moment more if we had a lot more information about this MCU's Uncle Ben. Because when you think of Spider-Man's origin, the reason he ends up being a hero is because of what happens to Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Right? Because at that point in time, Peter's being selfish and using his powers to make money. And especially if you look at like the first movie, for example, we have the example of Peter letting someone who robbed the runner for the wrestling get by, which is the person who ends up killing in that movie, as far as Peter knows, kills his uncle. And it just would have been a little bit better if we kind of had an idea of why, maybe not even Uncle Ben, but why Peter became a hero.
Yeah.
What led him to use his powers for good.
Good and not just random
You know what I mean?
Stuff. Yeah.
Because we get now this speech from Aunt May, which is sad. It's touching. It's moving. But what even caused Peter to be a hero in the first place if he's never heard this kind of speech before?
Yeah.
That's more of just like this MCU Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not so much for this film, I guess. You have anything else to add
on? We talked about it a lot when we watched it because this is one of the few movies we actually watched together. So I had very similar things. I have two things that are more nitpicky.
Yeah.
One of them is that this is just another Spider-Man adjacent film because like the first two were very like Iron Man heavy.
Yep.
And then this one was kind of Doctor Strange heavy, but also nostalgia heavy. Like we really have yet to have just like a good solo.
Was it
Spider-Man
Doctor Strange
movie.
Heavy?
It wasn't like super Doctor Strange heavy.
The film can't happen without Doctor Strange.
I agree.
But
the other two films can't happen without Tony.
The second half of this film is almost a different film, though.
I agree. But obviously Strange comes back, obviously, to set it a new.
Yeah, kind of has like weird
But-
tone shifts and
Yeah.
because of I think it could have been cool if if he worked more together with Doctor Strange going through
Mhm.
different maybe multiverses and seeing different Spider-Man and something
But
would have been maybe more fun
yeah.
if you wanted to do that. But yeah, it definitely ends up feeling almost like two separate films.
And then this is another like super big nitpick. It's a particular scene. So after Aunt May dies, Happy shows up, and the Green Goblin has already left. Everyone's seen Green Goblin leave the scene, and then they progressively just start shooting towards the building, anyways. And I just don't understand fully why.
America.
Literally, though.
I don't know why.
But it just felt so out of place. You're like, cool. The bad guy is left physically. We only
think
see Peter. No one else.
I want to say it's because J. Jonah Jameson is on site.
Maybe.
And you know that mom mentality?
Yeah.
Once you get people thinking the mom mentality, like, oh, it was Spider-Man. It was Spider-Man.
Yeah. Attack. I don't know. I just didn't like that scene, in my opinion.
It was a little bit weird to just straight up shoot him.
Yeah, I think it was a bad ending to a really good, important scene. Like Aunt May says the speech, you're like, okay, this is a turning point for Peter.
Yeah, it would have been better if
Happy
they just
shows up.
tried to get him and not just randomly start shooting.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
I can see that.
Yeah. Favorite moment wise, I got 3.
Condo
Obviously,
fight?
what's that?
Condo fight.
Which fight?
The fight in the condo.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was pretty good, but that's not my favorite 3.
You didn't like the
No, I really liked
choreography
it.
of slamming through.
I did like the choreography of
grounds
that.
and stuff?
Yes.
That was pretty good. Statue of Liberty fight.
Statue of Liberty.
And
Good
Matthew
one.
Murdock.
Yeah, Matt Murdock is one for me. This is a nostalgia one personally, but Tobey Maguire talking with Doc Ock and kind of replicating a conversation they had in the trilogy of like, oh, you've grown up and trying to do better.
Yep.
And it was just like wholesome.
Kind of like wrapped it up even better.
Yeah. And then just the 3 Spider-Man talking like, oh, I once fought an alien symbiote, or oh, I've been to space.
How about Andrew Garfield Spider-Man saving MJ? That was nice.
It's
touching.
nice touching feel. A good wrap to his character.
Yeah.
I think this movie did really good of just giving each Spider-Man like a good scene to kind of wrap up their story a bit.
Yeah. Maybe some or like their character, something to do with their character arc as Spider-Man.
Agreed.
You have anything down for some Easter eggs, Matt?
Yeah, a couple ones. We have the classic Spider-Man or female towards Peter, go get him, Tiger.
Yeah, we did get
Betty Brant.
Not
Very
as great.
random.
Yeah, not as great. Would have been more fun to hear from MJ.
Electro and Andrew Garfield are talking about how there's a black Spider-Man somewhere, which is a direct nod to Miles Morales. Easter egg / importance to the overall MCU is the damage control guy says that Nick Fury has been off planet for a while, which confirms that it was a Skrull the entire time from the second Spider-Man film, because this relatively happens right after kind of thing. And then we see when the world cracks open, we see silhouettes of different characters such as Rhino and Kraven.
Yeah, some other Spider-Man villains.
Yep.
Which leads into the post-credit scenes where we have Venom symbiote in the MCU. Basically, Tom Hardy at a bar talking to Venom, or I guess it's Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Talking to the symbiote, and then a little piece of the symbiote's left when he ends up getting zapped back to his own universe.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
Will we get a payoff? I don't know.
Nothing's coming out of it, so I feel so far.
So
I'm feeling like whatever. It was just kind of maybe for fun.
Whatevs. Yeah.
But if that was the way they introduced the Venom symbiote into the MCU, I would be
it's bad because that's a sequel to a post-credit scene from Venom 2.
Yeah, it's
because the Venom 2 post-credit scene is Eddie getting shifted into this because of the spell. He's sitting on a bed somewhere.
So it's almost like a cover spread for like a cover story for One Piece,
Yeah.
It's like you're almost following it throughout.
You're just like,
a
why?
different story.
Exactly.
They should just have Tom Hardy back now for every Spider-Man and Venom film, just like
post-credit
going
scenes
through and telling his own story
That'd
that
be
way.
Sick. Importance to the overall story of the MCU. We skip past that.
Oh yeah.
But
well, Netflix shows are canon in MCU.
Yep.
Because we have
Matt Murdock popping out
in it. Peter is forgotten.
Yep.
As Spider-Man.
Yep.
I mean, I'm pretty much everyone doesn't know who he is, but he does. He still exists. People can still see him. And then I have down hinted at in the previous Spider-Man, but truly blows the doors wide open now, which is the multiverse exists.
Yes. I got a few more things.
I mean, we kind of already knew the multiverse exists, but
this is officially confirms that it fully exists.
It's impacted the MCU in some way.
Which is a nitpick dislike because, nope, sorry. That's a different film.
Oh, we'll get there.
Other importance, Wong is now Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes.
Aunt May is dead, obviously. The dude who's in Damage Control does appear in future Marvel products. This is his first appearance. He does show up in Ms. Marvel and Wonder Man. And then this one is kind of a stretch-ish. We can make the argument that the corruption or darker side of Doctor Strange has begun because we see him use the mirror dimension, and we learned in the first Doctor Strange that using the mirror dimension is part of like dark magic, negative stuff. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a stretch, but that leads into the film we'll be talking about next week, though,
which is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse.
Multiverse of Madness,
which was the second
Doctor Strange film.
No, it was the second credit scene.
Oh yeah,
is literally the trailer
just
for
a trailer.
The Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Kind of lame.
Very weird.
Yep.
But I would say for me, I'm leaning towards like an 8.
I think 8's pretty solid.
It wasn't definitely not as hype as the first time we saw it.
No, definitely not.
But still decent. It just, I guess for me, we've had 3 Spider-Man films, and as you mentioned, so much of the MCU Spider-Man films are reliant on other characters around that it doesn't feel like we have had a complete story arc for Peter of the MCU.
That's why I'm curious how they're going to do the next one, where who's going to be.
And who is Peter, and how is he being a hero? Like, what's he doing as Spider-Man? Is he trying to play it a lot down low? Like, he's not reaching for that Avengers heights anymore? We'll see. Yeah. If you guys like this content, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified. We do post every Monday for Marvel Mondays, as well as every Wednesday where we have the Nerdy Misfit podcast, where we talk about whatever nerdy topic we feel like discussing. Other than that, could drop a comment down below how you feel about Spider-Man.
Who's your favorite Spider-Man? Let us know.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.